So this is the start here. I'm on the outside pole in the orange car, leading the outside line. So on the start here, I got a decent getaway. But so Challoner, who's the lead car there, the 73, orange and white, and then Walsh, who's the black car on the inside. They're really fast, and I just got in line, and I'm ready to just go and see if we could break away. But unfortunately, we have some quick cautions here in the first few couple of stints where we aren't able to break away like that. First caution is going to happen right here on lap 3. So this is about 10 laps later, actually another restart and another caution and another restart after the first incident. So I'm in 4th right now. They're 3 wide for the lead in front of me, and I'm still just wanting to get in line and ride. Long way to go still, but everybody wants to race. So here I was thinking with Challoner, me, and Walsh lined up on the inside, maybe we could just get by this guy and then get in line. But it doesn't work out that way. I was almost able to get the lead there, but not quite. So we actually did get a long green run there, and me and a few other cars got away for a while. And then this is after a yellow. This is about lap 60. And here we're not going to be able to get away, and the racing is going to get significantly crazier as some of the more aggressive guys get up towards the front. So I'm the third car on the inside there, now the second car. This black car, the 381, is really holding me up. But there's nothing I can really do about it right now, so I'm just kind of losing spots here. So now I'm basically hung on the inside by myself, so that's even worse. But my big goal is to get to either the middle or the top, because that's where my car is the best. So here I saw an opening to go to the middle, and I said I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. This is a restart on lap 89. I lost a few spots in the pits, so I'm 5th. And they're 3 wide in front of me, and then this happens. This is my onboards. I just barely managed to keep this one out of the wall. Turning right in the middle of the corner like that is generally not good, but just barely managed to save it. This is a few laps later after I recovered, and this is why turning right in the middle of the corner isn't good. So it looks like these two cars are about to wreck. So I jerked the wheel again, and this time I'm not able to save it. Glanced off the wall, and then I got spun. Got a lot of damage from that. This is lap 125. I'm in the back because of having to get that damage repaired. My own fault. We do have what's called a fast repair, where it completely repairs your car. But I didn't want to use that so early in the race. So my car's still damaged and slow, and so I'm in the back and having to dodge crashes like this. So I'm still mid-pack. I'm running 17th at this point. I've been lucky, dodged a few crashes, but not so lucky on this one. Now because of that fast repair from that last crash, I'm 2 laps down at this point, so I'm just kind of hanging back from the pack, hoping for yellows to try and get my laps back. And the flip side of that is you got to dodge more crashes. This is about 55 laps to go. I got 1 lap back so far. Hate to wish bad luck on anybody, but I really need another yellow to get my other lap back, get back on the lead lap, and then see if I can pass some guys. So here we're about 45 laps to go. I'm still back in 27th place because of having to start in the back on the restart from taking the wave around. We've lost the draft. So I need yet another yellow to catch up and try to race at that point. And it looks like we're going to get one. Since the restart with about 40 laps to go, I finally get to race now. So there was just a car that had to pit out of the pack. That's actually a guy that I'm racing for the Sportsman's Championship. And with him having to pit like that, that means that if I just get a decent finish, I'm going to gain some good points on him. So at this point, I decided to kind of back off, let the field kind of race by itself. I'll hang back, wait and see what happens. If they don't crash after a few laps, I can start picking my way through them. But right now, I just need to play it safe. So we had a really good long run car for this race, so a lot of guys had short run cars, so it only takes a few laps for guys to start using up their tires, and once they do, things thin out a little bit and it's a little bit safer to get up in there and start making passes. So I'm just kind of waiting on that. So at this point I decided to start passing some of the slower cars that are at the back of the lead pack. That way I don't get left behind, but I'm still leaving a little bit of a gap there. So now it's really starting to string out, so at this point I feel like I can start making passes relatively safely. So what happens with this crash here, so I go to the outside of the 47 car, and we're coming up on a lap car, but you can see we're completely side by side, and he just comes up like I'm not there. At the last second, I tried to get out of it. So unfortunately, I just barely touched the guy, and it touches off this last crash. So with 25 laps to go here, I'm going to restart with the lead. The reason for that is I didn't take tires on my pit stop. I didn't mean to do that, actually. I had my tires unselected from the previous caution with about 40 laps to go, which is right at the edge of our fuel range, because I was thinking about coming in and topping off my fuel tank. I ended up not doing that, but if you don't pit after that, it doesn't reset your pit options. So my tires were still off, and I made a rookie mistake of not double checking them to make sure that I went on. So when I pitted, I didn't get tires. So I came out with the lead, but I've got about 10 lap older tires than everyone else. So I made everyone aware of that, and I just kind of pull up high and let everybody go by me just to be safe. And I also know that if it goes green, those cars are going to fall off, and even with 10 lap older tires, I still have a pretty good long run car. So we'll see what I'm able to do once it's time to go racing again. This is about 10 laps later. It's about 15 laps to go. I fell back to 11th. The cars ahead of me, their tires are starting to wear. My car is still pretty good, even though my my tires are 10 laps older than theirs. So I decided it's time to see what I can do. So this is the group from 4th on back. The front 3 cars have kind of broken away. So at this point, I know that I don't really have the tires or the car to chase them down, even if I get to the front of this pack. So with more than 10 laps to go, I have a lot of time to pass 4 more cars. So I'm just going to be very patient here. I've been waiting for these guys to give me the outside, and they finally leave me a little bit of a hole here. So I'm able to take them 3 wide. Now at this point, the leaders are too far away to try and catch, and I don't have a very good leading car anyway. So at this point, I just want to stay behind the 10, see if we can get away from the cars behind us, and I can always pass him a little later. This is coming to 2 laps to go. We weren't able to get away from the cars behind us. So now it's time to see what I can get. He actually does a very good job here holding on the inside with old tires. It's very difficult to run that inside with the tires this old. His are about 25 laps old. So this is the final lap. We're battling for 4th right now. So at this point I feel like I've got 4th pretty solid, but the leaders well in front of us there, they actually have a little contact and one of them gets wrecked. So coming off turn 4 here, I'm actually able to slip up into 3rd. So this is actually my first podium finish in a pro race in this league, and I end up actually getting elevated to 2nd because the guy who won the race got disqualified for wrecking the leader.